Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today. I'm really excited to share this end of year session with you where I'm going to talk about my favorite top 10 new features of 2025. We launched a lot of things in 2025 and I'll share a more complete list with you too, but these are my very favorites in descending order. So we're going to do a countdown style. So number 10 is trimming and cropping. So we've had video attachment trimming for a little while now, and photo cropping is brand new in Sandbox. So let me show you how that works. So I'm going to come over to this example. This is an image of the San Francisco skyline that I loaded in here earlier. And so I can size it how I want. And then if I double click on it, I get these little lines around the image, just like you might have seen in other tools. So I can kind of make this whatever shape I want and move it around. Maybe I want it as a header, so I want it to be a little skinnier. And then similarly with videos, I'm going to go to my three dots here and come to my video recorder. So I can record a video right here, as you've seen on other Padlets. I'm going to do that right now. So here I am. Hello, hello. And then when I hit on next, I have an option here to trim the video. So if I want to cut off the beginning or end, I can do that right here within the player. So I'm going to click on trim. And then I'm going to drag these to where I want them. And when that is set, I hit save. And now I have my trim video right here. So trimming and cropping, that's my number 10 feature right there. All right, moving ahead. Number 9 is some new formats that we launched earlier in the year. The first one is the new table format. So here's an example of this one. So when you're making a new Padlet, you have a lot of options for formats, and our brand new format is table format. And as you can see, it comes up in a list right here. This is a list of assignments. So one thing you can do is if you have students submitting things on a Padlet or making posts, you can have them visually displayed nicely. But then later on, if you want to kind of check off what people have done, you can view this in a list format or what we call a table format. And one great thing about our formats, if I click under settings here, I can change these formats at any time. So if I just want to view it for a moment in table, and then I want to put it back into wall or another format, I can do that. All the contents will stay there. So here I am back in a wall format. And then maybe I want to bring it to table format so I can just check which students have completed this. And it's also a great way to try out different formats. If you want to see, I'm often trying to decide if I want rows or columns or which format would be the best for my content. And so once you put the content there, you can try out those different formats. Those who have been with us for a while also might notice that some of these have changed names. So we wanted to make the names really clear. So columns, to be really clear what that looks like. Rows, for example, free form is the one where you can put things anywhere on the page. So all the formats that we've always had are there, but you'll notice some different names. And then a throwback is the return of our old timeline. So we had changed the format of the timeline a little while ago to simplify it, but people really love this old timeline with the actual dotted line and the points here. So we brought that back. So now you can use our old timeline and make all the timelines you want. All right, well, that was my number 9, fun with formats. On to number 8. I know that a lot of us love emojis. They're just fun emoji stickers, emoji reactions, and now we have those in many places within Padlet. So you can now, in a board, one of the reactions, instead of likes, you can do emoji reactions. And in Sandbox, if I come into here, there's a tool on the side here that looks like a little smiley face. That's an emoji sticker. And so if you click on that, you'll have access to all your emojis and they'll pop right up here on the screen. So if I click one here, it's going to come here. So this is the idea of a simple activity. Share something that you love using an emoji sticker. So asking students to share their hobbies or their preferences or interests in a different visual format. And then another way you might use this in this example is one of our templates is a mood meter template. This one's a little crazy because we had a lot of people participating on this, but you could use emoji stickers or you could use initials to plot on this graph how you're feeling today. So doing some of these openers or socio-emotional check-ins with students, they can decide if they're high energy and really happy over here, or maybe more chilled out, high happiness but low energy, and anywhere they are on the graph, and it's kind of a quick visual check-in for you. All right. And lots more things you can do with emojis too. We did a whole webinar on that we'll share out too. All right, on to number 7. Number 7 is photo albums. This is one of our most requested feature. And finally, we've added it. We're really excited to share that. So let me just go to a blank board here, and I'm going to add in some images. So I'm going to come over here, the plus button, and I'm going to upload an image that I have here. So I'm actually going to upload some images from some conferences that we've been to recently. So here is the team in Dubai a few weeks ago. And you'll now see when you upload this, you have this new button here called Plus Photos. So I'm going to click on Plus Photos, and now I can upload another one. You can upload many photos, or you can get images other ways. If you are searching for an image or generating an AI image, let me put in some other ones. So here are 2 of my colleagues in Texas. And then I'll put in one more here. This is one of my favorites of Julia with our friends at Goose Chase dressed up in their goose costumes. So let me hit publish here, and then you'll see how this looks. I'm going to come to settings and make this a little wider so we see a bigger image. And now you'll see I have these 3 dots here, and I have these arrows. So I can have my own photo album, lots of uses you could make use of here. You could take pictures of what you're doing in class, take pictures of final projects or performances. You could take pictures of field trips, and now you can house those all in these little photo albums. So that's a really exciting one. All right, on to number 6, screen recorder. Screen recorder has a lot of potential. So if I come into a sandbox here, I'm making a new sandbox. And remember, all of my attachments are under the 3 dots here. So I'm going to go to the screen recording attachment right here. I can record any screen. So maybe I have a slideshow that I'm presenting that I want to record myself speaking, or maybe I'm on another website playing an interactive game or completing a problem. I can record all of that. So here I'm going to click on next. And I'm going to choose which tab I want. So I'm going to choose my current tab actually, because you can also screen record things you're doing in Sandbox or on Padlet. So for example, I'm going to screen record myself right here, and I'm going to do my drawing, or maybe I'm doing a math problem, and I can show my thinking here, and I can explain what I'm doing. I can even add other fun attachments or go back to our emoji stickers if I want to, and then I hit stop when I'm done. I can also trim my screen recordings just like I did with video. And now when I save this, I have an attachment of my screen recording. So you could actually put that right onto a Padlet. And now you have students or adults explaining their thinking or showing you the work that they're doing. So lots of potential to use that for capturing student thinking and making it more visible. All right, this next one is a personal favorite of mine. We got a lot of certifications this year. We put together a lot of materials to show all the great things you can do in Padlet, and we got an ISTE Creativity Seal. We also got our ESSA Level 4 certification and a Common Sense Privacy Seal. So more documentation here, but let me show you quickly some of the examples for ISTE. So we have kind of 2 sets of example. One is more about science, one is more about math. And for these examples, we actually spell out the exact student ISTE standard that it connects to. So there's some information here, and actually says the numbers of the different standards and links to a Padlet that shows how we would do that with students. So that it's really easy for you to recreate any of these or adjust them however you want to. All right, we're down to number 5, halfway there. Here we go. Number 4 is PD courses. So this is something we launched towards the beginning of 2025. We've had a lot of participants. If you haven't checked these out, I really encourage you to come and take these courses. They're fun, they're short, and you can get a certificate of completion afterwards. So especially if you're newer to Padlet, but even if you know Padlet, there's a lot of little tidbits and secret settings in here that I'll show you together with my animal friends here like this sloth. So what you do here is each of these videos is between 5 and 10 minutes. The whole course is about an hour long. And at the end, you submit this certificate. You submit this form, and we will give you a certificate of completion. So that's one of our courses. And we have a second course here that launched more recently, all about AI. We have some exciting new AI tools, including AI recipes and Padlet TA. And so in these videos, I talk a lot about different purposes for AI and how you might use Padlet's tools and some other tools to get to those purposes. And same thing, complete a form at the end and you'll get a certificate of completion. All right, coming back to our countdown. Number 3, translate Padlets. This one is really, really fun and so excited to share this. And I've already heard of many use cases, especially English language learners, newcomer students, or sharing with multilingual families. Here's how this works. So I'm going to click into this Padlet that has all German in here. And you'll see up here at the top, it's prompted me, since my browser is all in English, if I want to translate this whole page into English. So I can click there to translate. Also, you can access this feature under the 3 dots here. So if I click on 3 dots and language, I can choose any language I want. So I'm going to see, you can see how all of this text is in German right now. I'm going to click it into English. Save that. And now you'll see it translates right away into English. But the really cool part is I can still interact with this Padlet. I can still add posts in any language and it will continue to show here in English if I'm translating it. And if I have a friend or a colleague who's speaking another language, they can have their own view of this board in a different language. So I could be communicating with my friends who speak Spanish or Chinese or German all on the same board. I could post in one language, they could post in another, and our views will continue to translate as we're doing it. So a great way to involve your newcomers and multilingual students and families all in the same space. All right, down to number 2, Sandbox templates. So this is a really exciting thing that's built into Sandboxes. When I create a new Sandbox here, I get an option on the bottom to access one of our many templates, and I can click on Search All to view all of them. So these you can use if you want to, or you can start with a blank whiteboard. But there's a lot of great ones in here. You could have an instant Venn diagram, a number line, a T-chart, lots of fun activities. A question of the day is an easy one. So you could take any of these templates and then add your own customization to it. So I might come back to question of the day and ask my students a question. What is your favorite food? Whatever question or opener you have, really easy to grade. It's already ready for you. You can take this URL, share it with students, and they can participate with sticky notes or other kinds of attachments. So Sandbox templates, a lot of things you can find there. And once you've started doing something on a Sandbox card, you'll notice this bar went away. If I want to access those templates again, all I have to do is come over here to the plus sign, make a new card, and then on this new card, I can start from a template. So I can always go back and find those again. All right, drum roll, please. Our number 1 feature is Padlet TA. If you haven't explored this yet, it's super exciting. We have a whole brand new tool at ta.padlet.com. You can make your own interactives, printables, instructional materials, and very, very brand new is our community library of examples. So I'm going to come over to ta.padlet.com. Anyone can access this. You have your tools up here. And then if I scroll down, I have interactive activities. So I can come down here. I can make flashcards. I can make a multiple choice quiz. Let's give it a try. So I could put in a standard here, or I could just put in a topic. I could say how many questions I want. And it's going to make an interactive activity for me. So it's going to take a few moments to generate. You'll notice over here on the left side, I have a prompting window. Similar to something like ChatGPT, I can continue to update this. So if I like the output, I can use it as is, or if I want to continue making changes to it, I can as well. Another couple of fun things here. If you wanted to start from a lesson plan instead of just saying water cycle, I could upload my whole lesson plan, and then it would make the quiz or the interactive based on that. So here we have it generating. We have some questions and answers here. The correct answers are marked. I could edit it further under this window. And then I have a few options here. I can export it if I want to print it out or share it with students in a digital version on a Google Doc. I could even put it over to a Padlet. And then the other really fun thing is I can copy this play link. So I can take this link and I can give this link to students. And then they can play it on here and they can put in their answers here I don't know if I'll do very well by just clicking randomly. And then I hit submit and I'll get some feedback on my answers here. So a number of ways you can make these very quickly and share them with students. So let's take a quick look at our community library here. So if I click on the community tab, I can, this is a whole bunch of examples for you to peruse. You can use these with students, or they can be inspiration for things that you might want to create. You can pick your grade level here, and then you'll find a bunch of different activities, lessons, materials. You can further filter by the type of thing you want, or you can click into any of these that you like, perusing these. So for example, homophone hunt. This is a fill in the blank. Same thing. I can export it, or I can copy the play link so students can play it online. If I like this and maybe I want to change it a little bit, I'm going to click on the duplicate button right here at the top. When I hit on duplicate, I'll get my own copy of this. And then I can click on open editor right here. And I can continue to refine this. Maybe I want to change the title or change some of these sentences. I can prompt the AI to make those changes. This community library is still very new, so we are still adding to it. Pretty soon, we're going to ask you all to contribute your favorite things here as well. You can also click on a heart next to your favorite ones, so we'll continue to see the most popular things that we make or that you make show up in these libraries. So really excited for you all to check out Padlet TA. We have a lot more features that are still coming, and some that I didn't mention. So I want to mention this at padlet.link /changelog. Here, my colleague Julia has been putting together everything that we launch. So you'll see we launch a lot of things. Some of them are more back-end things to make things faster or smoother or integrate better with other tools. Some of them are visual updates to make things look more beautiful or more functional. So feel free to check this out. And if you want to keep up to date on everything happening in Padlet, you can just click here on this little bell icon and click on follow. So you can follow this Padlet. So whenever we make a new update, we'll post it here and then you'll get a notification. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We are so glad that you joined us. I will share the link out to this so you can check out all of these features yourselves, and we hope to see you at future webinars. Thanks, everyone.